In the day's other news, President Trump directed new criticism at his own attorney general over the Russia probes. In a tweet, he called Jeff Sessions, quote, our beleaguered AG, and asked why he and others are not investigating Hillary Clinton. Last week, the president openly chastised Sessions for recusing himself in the Russia matter. A diplomatic standoff between Israel and Jordan ended this evening. It had begun Sunday when an Israeli embassy guard in Amman killed 2 Jordanians after one stabbed him. The Jordanians said they wanted to question the guard, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisted he has diplomatic immunity and must be returned home.
I assured him that we will see to bringing him back to Israel. We are holding contacts to end the incident and to bring our people back to Israel. And we are doing this determinedly and responsibly.
Later, the guard and other embassy staffers returned to Israel. The dispute added to tensions over new security measures at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. They sparked protests on Friday, and several Palestinians were killed. In Afghanistan, at least 24 people were killed today when a suicide car bomber rammed a bus carrying government employees. The Taliban said that it was behind the attack, targeting a Kabul neighborhood that's home to leading politicians. At least 42 people were hurt. Separately, in Lahore, Pakistan, a suicide bomber killed at least 25 people, many of them police. The Pakistani Taliban claimed that attack. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte insisted today that he will continue a drug crackdown that's claimed thousands of lives. In a State of the Union address, he called the victims beasts and vultures, and he vowed he'd go to prison first before giving in.
The fight will not stop until those who deal in it understand that they have to cease, they have to stop, because the alternative are either jail or hell.
As Duterte spoke, thousands of left-wing protesters marched in opposition. He met with them later, but warned that he'll order police to shoot anyone who causes disturbances. In Poland, the country's president broke with his own political party today, vetoing 2 bills aimed at curbing the independence of judges. The legislation had triggered mass demonstrations. Diana Magnay of Independent Television News filed this report.
For days and long into each night, they protested in cities across Poland against judicial reforms they felt might snuff out what's left of liberal democracy here. It's not a phrase the ruling Law and Justice Party have much truck with, certainly not party chairman Jarosław Kaczyński. But the man he cherry-picked for president last year, Andrzej Duda, just broke with party ranks.
Poland badly needs reform of the judiciary, and I fully support this reform. But I support a smart reform, which will guarantee effective functioning of the judiciary and improve the sense of justice in Poland.
Cue an emergency meeting of the ruling party. No comments for the press, but expect the president, who till now has signed pretty much everything that's crossed his desk, to put his stamp on any new piece of legislation, likely some kind of compromise, on reforms his party say they have a mandate for.
So far, the judges in Poland had no responsibility at all. We as members of the parliament can be, put on trial or lose our mandate, or just, people will vote and decide about our future. So we wanted to have very equal rights for everyone, for the member of the parliament, from the judge, and from the man on the street.
Some on the street today felt their president hadn't gone far enough, blocking 2 pieces of legislation but not a third, which grants sweeping powers to the Justice Minister, including the right to appoint the heads of lower courts. This evening, another demonstration outside the presidential palace by those whose notions of law and justice are entirely different from Kaczynski and his ruling parties.
That report from Diana Magnay of Independent Television News. The parents of a critically ill baby in Britain have dropped their legal bid to keep him alive. They had been trying to move 11-month-old Charlie Gard to the U.S. for experimental treatment, but British doctors argued it wouldn't work. Today, the father, Chris Gard, said they've made their decision after new tests showed the child's muscle damage is now irreversible.
We will have to live with the what-ifs which will haunt us for the rest of our lives. The Despite the way that our beautiful son has been spoken about sometimes as if he is not worthy of a chance at life, our son is an absolute warrior, and we could not be prouder of him, and we will miss him terribly.
The case has garnered international attention, with both President Trump and the Pope offering support to the family. Back in this country, President Trump called for Senate Republicans to begin debate on a health care bill. Party leaders say that they will try advancing a measure tomorrow, but it's not clear which one, a version that repeals and replaces Obamacare or a repeal-only bill. The president said, quote, "There's been enough talk. Now is the time for action." And on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 67 points to close at 21,513. The Nasdaq rose 23 points, and the S&P 500 slipped 2.